This steak will make you fans of beef, even if you didn't like it before. Our talk today will be about cooking a large, delicious and juicy steak. To prepare it, you will need beef tenderloin. I used the usual chilled beef pulp. It also turns out very tasty, but of course, not as tender as if you cook from a tenderloin. In both cases, the meat needs to be washed and dried. Cut off all the films and veins. Cut into thin strips first. Then the strips are cut into small cubes, as shown in the photo. Next, the chopped beef must be salted. Pepper it. Knead very carefully, at least 5-7 minutes, with your hands, as if you are kneading the dough, so that the meat fibers begin to blend together slightly. This is a very important stage. If you don't remember meat well enough now, then your steak may fall apart. Then the well-washed beef should be collected into a ball and beaten off on a cutting board for 1-2 minutes. To keep the kitchen clean, you can put the meat in any cellophane bag and beat off your future steak through the bag. After all our efforts, we get such a chipped piece of chopped beef, from which it's time to form a steak. But before that, we need to heat the oven to 180-200 degrees to bring our steak to the required degree of roasting. Now that all the preparatory procedures are finally completed, it's time to cook our steak. Using slightly moistened hands and a knife, we form such a huge steak, about 1.5 centimeters thick, and the diameter, as far as the amount of minced meat allows. Heat a small amount of olive oil in a frying pan, and put our steak in a frying pan. Attention! It is extremely important not to put the steak in a cold frying pan. Everything can be ruined. It is necessary that after placing the meat on a hot surface, it is sealed, so the temperature should be appropriate. After 2-3 minutes, turn the steak over in a frying pan, and fry it on the other side for another 2-3 minutes. Put the meat on a small baking sheet, or just on a frying pan with a non-flammable, or simply missing handle, and bring it to the required degree of readiness, in a preheated 180-degree oven. Usually no more than 5 minutes, but if someone likes with blood, 2-3 minutes is enough. And while the steak is being brought to readiness, we will wash the pan, pour a small amount of vegetable oil on it, and fry 1 egg, slightly salting it after it is ready. Now it's time to form the final dish. On a flat large dish we spread a hot, just out of the oven, steak, put a small piece of butter on it, and we cover our steak with an egg.